See,
Cool.
because I can't do it obviously when I'm doing Zoom.
Hi,
There's Jessica.
Hello.
Look at her beautiful smiling face. So good to see you.
It's so good to see you too.
There's some people I know that couldn't make it that I'm going to send them links because they were like very excited. Said, "Oh, we're throwing a party," and I said, "She's the sweetest thing," and she does such an amazing job.
Thank
Brett,
you.
that's my Tyler rep. He handled all your sales on all your properties.
Hi, Jessica.
Hi.
And he did say to me my beautiful smiley face when I came on.
No,
So.
what was that? Like, that's just like so offensive.
Right.
I told him his shiny forehead. He shined it just for me.
How's you guys are booming right now, huh?
I was just telling him that we had a deal yesterday. He didn't know about because I was too busy to talk about it yesterday. We had 17 offers and our buyer got it. It started at $1.9 million and went out close to 2.4 million.
Is that what's happening right now?
Yes, absolute craziness.
I still haven't.
And then I was just on a phone with a client who I keep telling him to sell his place. He doesn't know that I know this. You probably know the guy, Brett. He's the guy Bijan. I was dealing with.
Oh him. Yeah.
He owes like $300,000 or $400,000. He has credit debt of $400,000. He has all this equity in this house here. He lives in like North Carolina, or I don't remember north or south. I have all these clients moving to North Carolina, South Carolina. Anyway, he wouldn't. He's holding on to this house. I'm like, Bijan, take the house, take the money off the table, pay off your debt, take the money, have it work for you. Go buy bonds, go do trust deeds, whatever. I'll give you a financial advisor. Do something, get your money working for you. I didn't say I knew about his debt. I know about it because the person I gave him to says, oh my God, he has so much debt. I mean, who walks around with $400,000 in credit card debt?
More people in LA than we think.
Yeah, you're right. I think Jessica's right.
I do. I think that people appear to be wealthier than they are all the time here.
Yeah,
But that's a lot.
A telltale sign is when you see the guy pulling in with his Ferrari or Rolls Royce into his apartment.
I know. I know.
And his car payment is higher than his rent payment,
right?
Which the rent payment's already too crazy to begin with. So
I know. Oh my God. I live in a 1929 fourplex in Hancock Park, and
lucky you. Beautiful.
It's gorgeous. It really is gorgeous, but I'm just like $4,700 a month.
Wow.
Yeah. We paid.
I know a good realtor, Jessica.
Yeah, I've heard. I'm not ready yet because I don't want to. First, I had to wait 2 years after my divorce to buy. And so that ended. And we're in the middle of the pandemic. Like my business just completely stopped, So I'm building back up my business. I still have my nest egg from Tarzana, Andrew. But
well, I mean, honestly, I'll tell you, Jess, you should come, and not that you can all the time, come to these meetings. I don't know who's going to be here, but I can tell you there's a few people that made a lot of money off these meetings.
Yeah, I bet, huh?
No, just from other indirect, not even necessarily they were the host.
Yeah.
That's Jenny. Jenny.
Hi, Jenny.
Hi, I'm part of the team. It's so nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Jenny, tell her a little bit about yourself, Jessica, so she knows besides the real estate aspect, please.
Oh, besides real estate. Okay. My background is Hollywood. I've worked in Hollywood for 25 years as a producer. Jason Alexander's producing partner, George from Seinfeld, and sold a lot of half hour, 1 hour, and a couple of movies, Agent Cody Banks, and have 3 kids that go to schools with people that have a lot of parties. Curtis and Campbell Hall.
Oh, Curtis. Okay, my kids are at Oakwood.
Oh, I love Oakwood. Well, Jason was head of the board there, probably maybe before your time.
I know Jason's party planner, actually.
Oh, you do? Okay, good. It's a small world. And I've always, admired Andrew. And when I started, when my son went to Carnegie Mellon a couple of years ago, I thought, I can always add some more money to my bank with these kids. So,
oh my God, I know.
Andrew,
so expensive.
Been taken over the world with the mayor of Encino here. So yeah, straddling both, but real estate's the beeline. But yeah, a nice sphere of people that do a lot of parties. I'm going to my Malibu, Andrew, my friend's selling her $14 million Malibu house. We're having a goodbye party. So the husband got the listing for his friend, not me. That was a bummer.
I did a party last weekend in Beverly Park, that neighborhood.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
My clients are the youngest people to live in the park, or in the neighborhood. And it was intense.
I think
I
that's where
did,
Mark Wahlberg has that huge house too, I think. I
Yeah,
think Mark
well, the
Wahlberg-
houses up there, I mean, they live in Reba McEntire's old house. But Denzel Washington was across the street, you know, Eddie Murphy, Magic Johnson, whatever. But and there's Saudi princes up there. I mean, I have never seen houses. They're estates. They're like
Yeah.
full on. They look like they're in Paris.
Yeah,
Oh my
they
God.
do.
Crazy.
Jenny, you know that Shlomo did those, he did all the kitchen cabinets in those homes. That's a mutual friend of ours.
Oh, I
So
Shlomo
you
did
did the
my
cab-
cabinets.
Yeah, when they
Oh.
were building them, he did all the cabinets. The guy's very wealthy.
Who? Which one? Shlomo?
Shlomo, yeah, he's a very wealthy guy.
He's a good friend of mine. And
Aw.
And
Yeah,
mine.
that-
I see him like once a week through a mutual friend because it's like the Billionaires Boys Club. They all hang out together.
they play
Smoking
basketball.
cigars and drinking.
Mhm.
Well, they play basketball with me. They're drinking tequila. I don't know.
I think we have a lot of the same type of clients, even though
Mhm.
we're in different industries. I think I serve the same kind of level of clients that you guys serve. So,
Mhm.
and my background is actually in Hollywood as well. That's how I started. So I think there's no better training ground than working for, you know, showrunners or executives in town, because you become humbled
Mhm.
and you figure out how to do everything in 2 minutes, and you don't
There
say
is no. That's not a
there
word.
is no. So in my business, I still use entertainment resources to pull through for my clients because their turnaround is so much quicker.
Mhm.
For example, I go to Universal for a lot of my graphics because they can turn things around in 2 seconds versus like a party graphics person, you know?
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. So, and they can do anything. I'll be like, can you? Because I'm the kind of planner that likes a good wow factor. I like people to walk in and go, you know, so.
Oh, I love
I'm
to
always
hear
thinking,
that.
oh,
And what
yeah.
would be an example of wow factor? Like, what is that?
Okay, let me give you a good one. Let me think. I mean, I brought in a Ferris wheel. I've done an entire Sweet 16 that was like it was like a Lollapalooza or Coachella type thing, you know.
Oh,
And
cool.
I had like YG perform. That was a wow factor.
Wow.
I brought in like a drum line, like Beyonce's drum line to introduce the party guest. I have brought in, you know, live animals. Depends, you know, what's appropriate, like an alpaca. You know, Andrew, I love my alpacas. Like to surprise a guest of honor.
They're
'cause that was
cute.
her
They're
favorite.
adorable.
That
They're
was her
adorable.
favorite animal, so I brought one in with like a flower necklace. What else did I do? I mean, a lot of it is just like being creative. Like I did an Andy Warhol bat mitzvah up at Skirball, and my
Love that.
seating chart was a giant, like 12-foot wall that was the Campbell's soup label, and then the ingredients were where you sat.
I
So
love that.
I like to be, I'm not ordinary. I pull all of my inspiration from high fashion, interior design, and pop culture. So I'm
I
not the
love it.
kind of planner that like looks online and replicates. I like to be ahead of the trend.
Oh my God, well, I'm moving in closer because that's exciting and very different. I love it.
It is. And people have such expectations in this town. And like my clients in Beverly Park, they wanted to,
Hi,
the
Anna.
party shows who they are, you know, it's an extension of them. So I need to make sure that I do a good job kind of imbuing who they are.
We have Todd and Anna Davis.
Hi.
Anna's amazing. She does jewelry and all kinds of things, and that's her husband Todd.
Hi guys, nice to meet you.
Her personal friends, but maybe he doesn't want me saying that. He's the lawyer for the Rams.
Ooh, that's cool.
MC.
No.
You need any big parties for the Ram players? You got Jess.
Oh my God, off the chain. I'm going to be helping to serve the hors d'oeuvres on that one. Jessica. Please, I'll pay you.
I think it's a Super Bowl. It's okay. You look good, Todd.
That's one way to prospect, Jenny.
Hold on.
Prospecting.
Well, but I
Oh my God, you're right, Brett. Good idea.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, you're a little echoey.
Anna, can you hear
I
us?
think she has, I think you have two accounts open. You have Alma Davis and Anna Davis. You have two different windows open.
Yeah, we're gonna close one of them. Hold on.
I close mine.
No,
That's, yeah, you're gonna share your information, I hope. I'm already having ideas to connect.
Good. Yeah, my website is Party Crush Events. I
What
can
is
put it
it?
in the chat.
I
Let me put it in
love
the
your
chat.
website. It's so beautiful.
Thank
Really
you.
well done.
I believe in doing something, spending money and doing it right the first time rather than redoing. So that is my website, and oh, now I'm echoey. Am I echoey, or is it?
I just.
No, I think it's them.
I fixed it.
So I'm actually a social planner. I'm not a wedding planner. Most of my colleagues are wedding planners. So I love the variety of doing everything from, I've done corporate, I've worked for Disney, ABC, Lululemon, to doing private events for, like right now I have an end of life dinner I'm doing. I've done baby showers. I've done birthday
Divorce
parties.
parties, I'm sure. You've done divorce parties? Divorce
No,
parties?
I've never done that.
Well, we're having one tonight at this 14 million. I should
Well,
bring.
I met this great guy yesterday. He's a divorce attorney. So I was going to suggest him. I'm going to send him your link. I was suggesting at lunch yesterday.
haven't
maybe
done
you want to
that.
divorce, maybe you want to, as a, gift, they can
Yeah.
throw each other suggest Party Crush because she does amazing parties. They'll be happy,
Yeah.
especially he does high-end divorces. I said,
Put it
you
in
have
the
the money. Why not?
You guys,
Well, he's the only one that-
Maybe I'll be marrying one of those guys. Andrew, don't forget about me.
Okay.
When he's
the
I
one-
almost stuck my head in, Andrew.
Oh, what, you were thinking about divorce?
No, I heard divorce, but I just stuck my head back in.
Oh, hi.
there's
I'm leaving. Bye,
I'll
guys.
see you a little later, Todd.
You got it.
a show right now on Netflix called Mortgage or Marriage. It's trash. I haven't watched
Oh
it.
my God, I gotta watch that. Mortgage or Marriage, really? Is it
Yeah,
good?
I would say mortgage. I love throwing my parties, but I don't know. So I do weddings and I do a ton of mitzvahs because, like I said, my kids are at Oakwood, so I generate business there. But primarily my clients are writers, producers. That's like my sweet spot. People who are really creative but too busy to do anything, and so they kind of hand over the reins. And I'm much like a producer. Jenny, I'm sure you know that's
yeah.
exactly what I do. My event last weekend, I had 24 vendors to manage. So I work with an operations manager who keeps me organized because I'm super creative and the people person, and she's like she keeps the contracts and makes sure the timeline and the budgets are good. So we make a very good team and we provide like top-notch service. So I pride myself on how I take care of my customers and my clients, and some of them have adopted me. I'm very choosy about it, but some keep me on retainer, and those people have me do dinner parties at their homes. They'll call me and say, I'm having 15 people for dinner on Saturday, pull it together. Wow. And I'm happy to do that once I've worked for the client, just to do, because I'll know their house manager, I'll know the client, I'll know the layout.
Manager.
Yeah, I keep a list of like their likes, dislikes, and then I have a stable of private chefs that I'll bring in, and then I'll pick and choose which florist and how to set the table. And I do that for a handful of families. I'm close to they're like, I'm tight with those people.
Let me ask you a question, because I've gone to many bar mitzvah parties, and I don't think I've ever gone to a wedding that can trump. My kids, I'm like, they're going. Like, they're not missing that party. The Shapiros.
I know.
At Four Seasons, the girl was, it was like a fire flow.
Oh yeah, I've seen those. Yeah.
Hawaiian parties, but let me ask you this: can you also work on different budgets? And is everything grand scale, or can you?
No. I am at a certain price point. because I'm at a certain place in my career where I'm an expert and I can produce a certain kind of product, just like you are. So I don't do, I'd say the average party budget that I do when we're looking at mitzvahs or, is like 80,000.
Mhm.
But I also will do dinner, like I actually just changed my price point. So um, this is interesting because I spoke to my attorney a couple days ago and I felt like I couldn't recreate the wheel each time with each party because it was so different. So I'm doing a percentage based fee now. So I have a flat management fee and then I take a percentage of the party's overall budget.
Okay. Well, that's interesting.
Yeah, it's called a hybrid model. I wasn't ready to go to the full percentage model because that's like for the people who are charging $25,000 to throw the party. So I'm still growing up to that level. My goal is not to, I want to work harder, not smarter. Or I want to work smarter. So my goal is to keep increasing the budgets of my parties and increasing my client relations so that I am doing events that are, I really love, I know I'm talking about fancy, but I really love meaning. So I like to work with people who have heart and people who find those milestones so important. So I know when they're my people, like I'm not afraid to say, I don't know, we're the best match, and I've been burned. I'm sure you guys have had bad experiences too, right? Where you're just like losing sleep over clients because you
Every
can't.
night, we look at me. I look like an 80-year-old man, Jess.
You do not. You're hot, Andrew.
We get burned all the time in real
Do
estate.
you get burned? Do you get burned just as much? Like, is
Yeah.
it the heart?
Yeah.
Do you feel in your career, Jenny, that like when you're going to fit with a client?
I have learned it's psychology. Each person is different, and I realize it's just getting them to, if they need baby steps, their comfort zone, or they need to talk to someone at midnight, and right now I'm new and fresh enough that I basically will do whatever it takes to try to close a deal, and I'm not, to make it happen. But I really realize that this is just like a party, which is their most important thing, and they're spending a lot of money. I'm sure there's a high tension, and it's diffusing it, letting it know that everything's going to be okay. I mean, it's
the
really a
same thing
people
as
thing.
Jenny was working with someone I went to school with that on a transaction. Not that I'm not even trying to quantify the price. It's not about the price, but was so difficult, and she had her tenacity and kept going and going. It's like Jesus. I would have told him to go drop dead by that time. I don't care how well I knew him. It's like, you're a pain in the ass. Stop.
You're so sweet. Yeah, I don't like to let things die.
I'm not so sweet. I'm saying it as it was.
It's a lot of hand holding. It depends on the client, and we all share that. We're in the service industry. We're as good as our last, or I feel like I'm as good as my last event, and we have to constantly keep morphing and changing with the times and the economic, the way the economy is going and everything. So we have to be malleable. And I do take on small parties as well, especially if I know that it's going to grow client wise.
Right.
Like I have
Been filmed. I'm sorry.
Especially if I know that it's going to grow into a larger relationship. My clients from 20 years ago, I've done, their daughter's parties, I've done their daughter's graduation parties, and now I'm waiting for their weddings, so there is a long game.
Yeah.
So when you become part of the family, and I'm just.
Is that sweet, Jess?
Yeah.
I love that.
It's so great. That's my oldest. She's a showrunner I used to work for, and the reason I started is because they asked me to make a cheese platter. All of us in the writer's room, and then all of a sudden they asked me to do other stuff in the writer's room, and then they asked me to start throwing parties for their children because they didn't have time to do it, and that's how my career took off. So it's and now I just went to her house yesterday to do a walkthrough for a dinner party. So I'm very very loyal to who I work for, and I hold them very dear. And that, in a way, I prefer that to the corporate, because corporate is so cut and dry, you know. I've done some A-listers now, and that's interesting, but I can't share anything because of the non-disclosures. And I can't, no, I can't. But I'm saying it as a business person, it's hard because you throw this beautiful event and then you're not allowed to share it or talk about it. And it's much more difficult. So my friends always say there are plenty of people in town. That's not the end game. Do you guys agree?
I agree. I do.
Yeah, because, oh, sorry.
No, go ahead, John. It's fine.
No, because I think you're absolutely right. This is an industry of A-type people, whether it's real estate, it's the moms that I know in the private school, I'm sure, at Lanai, it's like everything you do, and people are loyal too. People will stick with you if something was success and grow. So I think that, whether it's you or having a staff that kind of helps it to be able to hit those lower birthday parties and things like that, is going to grow. And people, like just right now, so I was in Malibu last week on the beach, and someone wanted to get their eyebrows done. 8 people in 1 week have hit this woman up. I'm like, do you want to get your eyebrows done for free, Jenny? I'm like, I'm not sure, but I'm just saying, but that's how this city.
Oh yeah, it's all word of mouth. It's all word of mouth. Yeah,
and it's small. So I think allowing yourself to diversify like that is amazing. Probably because I'm also going to call you about a party that I.
Well, and it'll be interesting to see how the percentage model works psychologically versus a flat fee. Most people do the flat fee, but because my job is so different, I'm just trying it this week. I've sold it twice already. So we'll see how it goes. But I'm curious to see, because I've never done that before, but it gives me the opportunity, because sometimes, as you know, you take on a client and the scope of the project is like this, and then it grows and grows and grows, and you have no control once you've signed the contract. So that's what I'm trying to avoid, because I find, I'm sure as you do with your clients, their budget starts here. And then I have it where their budget starts here, and then I provide that, and then they say scale it back, and then they add it all back on. So I go through like the whole thing. So it's an interesting process. Learn.
Your fee is what it ends up being at the end, not what they expect. Well, listen, I'm remodeling my house, and the designer that's helping me was like, it's this. We've gone here. I've got 5 painters outside. I can't stop, so
did she sign a flat fee with you, or did she do a percentage?
I do an hourly.
You do an hourly.
That's a special deal.
And
I'm referring her to tons of people. She's fabulous.
Oh,
Let me tell you something. That's always the kiss of death when they do that.
Do we know the name?
Material. That's where you get killed.
What do you get killed, hourly?
No, when you do, I'm not saying for your business, Jess. I'm saying when a construction person says, I'll do you a favor, it's time and material. Because they can slow down their time and start charging a lot of money, wasting time.
I couldn't do hourly with mine because I'm actually starting to track my hours on how often I spend on each client, just so I can learn as a business person how much I spend. But I swear, just like you guys, I eat and sleep. I'm like a total workaholic. Like I'm thinking about my clients all the time. So I don't know.
Good, you're on your first step of recovery, step 1.
It's a problem. I love what I do so much that it doesn't feel. I mean, yes, there are times where it feels like work, but I think one of my favorite things about my job is that I interview people in advance to be my vendors. So forgive me, I'm not using Mark's Garden. They've been around forever. They're fantastic. I know they're amazing, but there are so many up and comers who are breaking into this industry, who are so talented and who are hungry and will work really hard for me. So if I go to Mark, they're busy with Mindy, and they won't have time for me. But if I have my eye open all the time to who's up and coming, and I interview them, and and I start to cultivate a relationship with them, when they take off, they're loyal to me, and they will always be good to me. So one thing that I really love is sourcing out florists, bakers, chefs, caterers, venues, and I always say no ego. I don't work with ego, and I just want good-hearted people, small businesses, women-owned businesses, people of color. I want.
I have a great florist for you in Encino. She's owned the business forever. Friend of mine, I don't know if you use her. She's really sweet. Her name's Nancy Casa de Flores.
Oh yeah, of course. I've been in there to get my rose when my name was Jessica.
Oh.
She goes,
I
but
don't know if she's there, but you can tell you're a friend. I went to school with her.
that's so nice.
She's a sweet lady. Very sweet lady.
I think it's so fun to give people jobs, like to connect them and to cultivate a team for each client, depending upon who they are. So like in Silver Lake, I have a very trendy couple right now who's getting married at the Paramore. Let's like hope that they don't sell it first, the Paramore property. And she's like edgy and trendy and like so cool. I can barely believe I'm working for her. And then I have like a super traditional client in the Palisades who, once we've, something's got to give, like she wants her party like that. So I have to diversify my vendors for each client and each event to make sure I'm providing what the client needs in like a bespoke way. And that's one of my greatest pleasures. It's like being a producer, this DP will work well here, this set decorator will work well here, and creating a team that's going to come together and then introducing them. And I absolutely love calling them saying, hey, you busy? You want a job? It's the best. It is.
Oh, it is. I'm laughing because it's great. It's like someone calling and saying, I want to sell my house.
It's the best. And the joy that those people get. And I take care of my vendors just as much as I take care of my clients. So, because I find that if everybody's happy and they're working on the party, they're going to produce the best party. So my management style is to, really take care of my vendors in a way that they feel seen and heard. Because a lot of people yell and are mean and aren't organized. And that's just not how I go about doing things. I just like spread. I'm very positive. I walked into my client yesterday and he's like, can you tone it down? He's from back east. He's like, you're too much. I'm sorry. You're like the most positive person I've ever met. Like, tone it down. I'm like, I'm sorry.
Don't tone it down, baby.
So anyway, do you guys
The
have
world
any?
needs more positive people, Jess. There's a lot of negative people out there. Trust
Yeah,
me, especially in our field. It's like I have to ignore it because if I listen to it, I call it the coffee crowd because they'll talk about all the negative things. And, it's like,
I don't have time for that.
I don't have time for it. It just makes me depressed.
It does. And we're so busy. Like we have to focus on the good stuff. I get really excited when I get new work. So I'm like, I start buzzing around and then making things.
That's why you're adorable. You're so cute.
Thank you. I love what I do. Do you guys have any questions for me?
Lana? No.
No.
Brett?
No, it's good. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
I think we're good. There's a few people I know that were supposed to be here. Like I had a client who she dresses Hollywood basically. So a couple of people that couldn't make it. I'm going to send out this recorded video to them, just so you know.
Send it with my website. Send it with my
No, I am. That's what I'm trying to tell you. So I'm going to send it out to all these people and promote it as well. We did a lot of social media. I had people question me about what it is. So.
Yeah. And I'm, like I said, I have done corporate, I've done, home parties, and I've done all sorts of things. And I'm really, one of my biggest things is, say yes and figure it out later. So
I'm also going to send it to, in case you can't make it, to my next one, which is in 2 weeks, to his name's Sam Lee. He's like third in charge of Mercedes-Benz of Encino. The owner of the dealership owns like 5-6 dealerships, and
I like this. Let's do it. Yeah, I love it.
They throw parties. They throw massive parties.
Do you know Cabral Geller, who does Messy Tables? She's in Encino as well. She's one of my colleagues, and you should know her too. She's an extremely successful. She does grazing tables, and she works for the studios all the time. And I work with her on private homes, and she'd be a good person to have. I'm going to send you her information.
What is her name?
It's called the Messy Table, and she's in Encino. You should know her. Her name is Cabral Geller. She's amazing.
Can you email it to? It might be here, but can you email it to me? It's my name, Jess. Andrew at Andrew Spitz, SPITZ.com.
Yeah, and I'll be there to support her as well. But I know you want to support your local people because
No, I want to support people I care about and or who are passionate like you. I love it because it's infectious. I love that. I'm sorry, what, Jeff?
How do you guys know each other?
VBS.
back in the
Kids.
day. Andrew and I met when our 18-year-olds were babies.
You don't have an 18-year-old. Look at you. You look like a little flower.
I know she looks like she's 30 years old. That's what
I'm 47.
she just bounces around. She's adorable.
I just
Endorphin. So don't let the bad people take you down.
I won't.
Better than they do.
Thank
They
you.
don't. She's positive. She's always positive. She's a sweet lady.
Where's Ryan going to school? Do you know yet?
Brett was just asking me that question. It's a loaded question. He was accepted to all these schools. Chapman offered him all this money, and I know that's where your daughter's going. And I said, it's a great school. He goes, well, I don't know if I want to go there. I go, you kidding? You're next to Disneyland. How can you miss that? I mean,
I know.
UC San Diego, UC Davis, Miami, Tulane, Northeastern, but he got rejected by SC, and he wrote a letter for admission. So he's waiting on that, but he committed to Tulane. He may end up switching if they on his he's trying to get them to reconsider him. So he filed
USC
an
is
appeal.
so hard, Andrew. It's so hard. I know people that got admitted for second semester. Did you hear that?
Yeah, I heard that, and which I'm hoping, because my sister Michelle, our sister-in-law, is a dean at USC. She's a clinical research head of clinical research. Ryan actually wrote a letter of recommendation, and his grade. You'd think they would take him because he's like a 4.5 GPA, and no.
So he's heartbroken.
Well, he wants to go there. He has a girl that he's in love with that wants to stay here, and she was thinking about maybe moving to New Orleans and go to school there, but one of the schools there, because she wants to follow him. I'm like, Brian, it doesn't work that way, but
18,
okay.
baby, 18.
I was a writer for the mayor of New Orleans, Mayor Bartholomew, for 4 years. It's a fun town. Yeah.
Tulane is amazing. That would be a great choice.
They're both amazing wherever he ends up. I mean, all of them are good. I mean, there's nothing wrong with Chapman. There's nothing wrong with UC San Diego. There's nothing wrong with any of these schools. They're all good schools. It's not, and he'll get. Yeah,
he'll end up where he's supposed to be. And I mean, the most important thing is that they get to go after last year, and Lily wanted to be close to home. So that's why she chose Chapman. And it's also, an industry driven school.
It's a great school though.
It's small and cozy. She's coming from Oakwood. Most of the kids go back east to liberal arts schools, but she knew that she didn't want to go back east. So it's a small liberal arts school here.
It's too cold back east. That's why I told Ryan, he said, Boston, I go, you're going to freeze your butt. You're going to be crying about the cold. I know you're like a baby. I mean, there's no way.
Boston,
men like to bitch about everything, Jess, right? I mean, they just complain from nothing.
Yeah, I know. Exactly. So stay.
Like I said to Michelle, I wouldn't marry me. Thank God you're blind and you don't ignore everything I do.
Oh, Andrew, you're a catch. You're a catch. And I'm so grateful that you invited me today. I'm off. Of course. I'm doing a tasting today. I haven't been to a restaurant in forever, but I'm doing a tasting at a restaurant in Beverly Hills, an Indian restaurant called Anabar. Do you guys know?
It's great. They have one in Encino.
They do?
It is the best. Yeah, it is the best Indian food. I got to share this story with you real quickly. You guys can all listen to this. So years ago, I met my cardiologist, and he tells me that the restaurant, and I've already been there, and he goes, Andrew, you got to get the lamb biryani. I go, that doesn't sound right. You're telling me to eat lamb, which has fat. I don't understand. He goes, I'm taking you out sometime. So I go there and I ordered the lamb biryani. I couldn't stop eating it. I walked out like waddling. I'm like, oh my God, this thing was the most amazing thing. And he takes me to lunch, and I'm like, oh, I'm sitting thinking maybe I should have chicken, tikka chicken or something a little healthy in front of my dog. No, Andy will have the lamb biryani, because it needed make it spicy. I'm sitting here, I'm like wiping my head.
Oh my God, I forgot about spice. I have my old Jewish stomach. I'm so worried. I'm like going to be demure.
Take a Pepsid C or something.
Yeah. God, I love you. Yes, I know. We have the chef giving us the tasting menu because he's coming.
It's so good. You're going to love it.
to
It's really,
cater
really
to
good.
my client's house. And apparently they bring a clay oven too. So I'm just gonna sit there. I know, who wants to throw a
So
party?
good.
Who wants to throw a party?
I'm jealous.
But anyway, so I'm gonna go do that. And I appreciate, Jenny, text me, will you?
Yes, I will.
'Cause I
Promise.
think
We're gonna give you your information. We have it here, Jenny.
I wanna-
Anna,
Anna, you were so
Hi,
quiet,
everyone.
but it's nice.
It's a very beautiful group, and I was very happy to listen to you. I'm a
Thank you.
local artist. I sort of had this very similar beginning to my business like you, Jessica, where I did something for my daughter. Somebody saw it, they want it, and then that's what happened. So my business is called Bear Karma, which is Bear Karma. And what I do is I create spiritual healing, mindful packages for my clients, and bracelets,
Yeah, I saw those. Those are beautiful.
all sorts, necklaces. We put old into new. We create beautiful spinel lockets with onyx and sapphire, diamond, sterling bracelets. And each piece comes with a piece of art. So we have roses for Mother's Day, a trip to Venice, cruise, mother's gift. And I have the same type of clients where they will text me at midnight, I need 8 party favors for tomorrow. I have Duke, kids, and USC. I'm like, okay, sure. I say yes, and then I make it happen.
Yeah.
So, a couple of the left collages for USC, and they come with, either a bracelet or a chain. And my daughter's going to USC, so I created USC. She's going to play beach volleyball. So little
Oh,
flaps with 14 karat gold balls and garnet,
oh, that's so pretty.
which is really cute, or like USC bracelets. So I can do my popular items are actually like birthstone for people who are born on specific, and once they see one, they want another one, and like they would say, oh, I have a gift for, can you make something for my sister? She was born in September. And then they get it, they're like, oh my God, what's my birthstone? I want one too. So, then I'm working also on healing crystal packages. So I put together like beautiful towers and nests and pots, and a lot of times when there's a baby born, we create this beautiful baby fairy surrounded in like crystal mineral protective kind of stone, a stone little thing. And what else? So anything, I can pretty much put together invites, anything that are very creative. I love doing this. My daughter's going to college. I only have one kid. She's graduating from Campbell Hall this year. And and I figured I better do something, other than writing. And, I produced a documentary on breast cancer with one of my Polish director producers, and supposed to work on another project last year. But due to pandemic, things happened, and I figured, well, I might as well get creative at home. And that's how it started. So I work for, custom made items and special orders. And then I do have a website. It's called bearkarma.com. And I'm also on Instagram at Bear Karma Designs. And you can see my work and, any of that stuff. So yeah, feel free to come visit me at my studio home. I live near Andrew, who I adore, and his wife, Michelle. And I'm not the best speaker, but I'm very handy and crafty and love working with people and making them happy. And I do also, I shouldn't say popular, but I do condolences packages. So sometimes instead of flowers, people want to create like a mourning piece. So I design, you know, one with, it comes with art and like a mindful card, and it's beautiful. And I can actually engrave or laser print name of the person they lost on the heart or anything like that. So there's a lot of beautiful elements that we can add into any jewelry pieces. And like simple bracelets with sterling silver. I do some occasional gold fill, but I prefer sterling silver or 14 karat gold. And they start from $60. So it's not really, it's pretty a good price point. So if you need any Mother Day's gifts for any mother figures or quick birthday gift, you know, people don't usually, they just like give me a call and panic friends. I'm going to birthday dinner in a few hours. I'm like, just come on over, pick whatever you want. And it's sort of like that. So thank you for your time.
So nice to know you. Thank you for sharing your
Thank you.
beautiful art.
Thank you. And I have the gallery on birdkarma.com, so you can see the photos of any artwork and things like that.
All right.
Okay,
All right.
thank you. Andrew, I have to go to my tasting. Is it okay? You're on mute, dude. Is he talking to a client? That's so
I think he's
Andrew.
talking to someone in the back.
That is so Andrew, our multi-caster.
Well, I'll take over. That's fine. Guys, here comes Andrew. Here he is.
I'm sorry. I'm working away. I'm
No,
sorry.
I know we all are. I have to get back to work too, but I'm so happy to know you all. So
Yes,
thank
and
you for
we're
having
gonna send it out to all the people that didn't make it, Jess, and I'm sure I'm gonna make connections for you. And they'll love your personality as they can all see. So thank you. Thank you, Brett, for doing this.
Thank you.
Tell Title, I'm sure throw some parties. She's a great option.
Yes.
Jenny, text me, okay?
Okay, I will.
All right, talk to you later.
Absolutely. Thank
Thanks,
you.
guys. Thanks, Anna. I'll see you
Thank
later,
you.
honey.
Take care. Have a
Bye.
great
Bye.
day. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.